A very good evening to all the viewers of Banyan Minds and wishing each of you a very, very happy Navratri. So, in the beginning of this Navratri of 2023, Banyan Minds is extremely obliged and feeling very proud because it has been blessed by nine dynamic Durgas who have come on this platform to share their experience, which will motivate you when you have certain career challenges, especially the women in India. So, this is for the young India, this is for the aspiring young girls of India. That nothing can stop you when you have such good examples leading you, and they can play as your role model. And today they are going to speak about their own life, own journeys, and the way they have achieved this success. So viewers can ask questions, but they will be answered only at the end of the chat. And we will listen to the journey continuously. So we are just now very proud to invite our first Durga, and she's none other than Mrs. Aakruti Bagwe. And today she holds a very, very, I don't really have words, but it's a position which is, I think so, full of, a very stressful position because when we use the word airport itself, it's all about the running around over here and there for small things and getting ourselves organized. And when you have to lead such a busy airport in the world, I think so it's not a easy task. So we will hear it from ma'am that how she manages all this. So she's none other but the director of the Mumbai airport, and she will share that how she came into this, how she took it as a challenge in the career path, and how she overcame her challenges, and what are her, what are her examples or what are her motivation triggers due to which her journey today is so successful. So, Akriti ma'am, you can start with your current position. What do you do, and how is your day?
So, good evening, everyone, and a happy Navratri to all of you, all my viewers. Thank you, Mayura ma'am, for giving me this opportunity to reach out to all the people who think that it is difficult to be a woman at this stage. But let me tell you, it's nothing rocket science. It's just a thought, and I think if you have a will, you can be there. Yes. So at the moment, my past history is that 25 years I was working with Jet Airways, and I was looking after a region as well as Mumbai, which was the hub of all the metros. Around 140 flights daily, which was my operations, which I used to look into. And when I say region, I was handling 13 airports. So overall, 117 flights from those 13 airports. So though it was a big role, very challenging, but I think women, when they say it's Durga, I think she has the power and she is multitasking and she can do wonders there. After Jet Airways, currently I am working with a domestic airline, which is famous here, and at the airport I manage both the terminals.
So, ma'am, when you say that you manage the airport, typically, how does your day start? So, is it about, the 24/7 kind of a attendance required for such kind of a profile, or how does it happen?
Yes, so but I'll just take you to the history to buy this job and why is it 24/7? As you rightly said, it's an airport job. So when I was a child, I never wanted a regular job, where I could see my aunt, my masi, my mommy every day waking up in the morning, making their dabbas, catching the train, going to town. I think that time it was all the offices were only in town, that is Churchgate, Marine Lines. and going in that train, pushing. I have been with them in the train, standing in the train, somebody doing, peeling of the peas in the train, making sure that the next day's dabba is ready. And that process, when I saw, well, they came back home again, they are in the kitchen, making sure they are sitting with their children for their studies and back to sleep. I never wanted that life. I wanted something different. My dad was in Air India, and that comes from there where the aviation background from home it starts. And I said I want to work in an aviation. My dad's life was very different from the other people. Yes, there was no Saturday Sunday off where we say 5 days a week and Saturday Sunday off. That's fun. But I think this was more fun for me because it was any of the weekdays which was off. Every day was a different story that I used to have it at the airport, and I could hear something new coming from my dad. That this passenger that he interacted, this was a story. This person I met, he is a big personality, and at the airport, I'm sure everybody knows that everyone travels, be it from a regular person to a biggest personality who travels by air. So you get to interact with them. And from then I thought that I want to be in the aviation and I will work there. So from the aviation, if you see, it's 24 by 7. We all work in shifts. So it's a 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to early morning. There are night shifts and any of the weekdays that you get an off. But it is so energetic over there. You do not realize whether it's a day or a night because it's with all lights all over. Big airport, big museum kind of. Now if you see the international airport at T2 Mumbai, I think it's like a big museum. It's a different place to work, and it is what I can say, there's a lot of energy around that makes you work there. It's never boring. There is something or the other happening over there. Maybe there are big groups traveling. There is a K-Street travel where you have senior citizens traveling, interacting with them, making sure that they reach the aircraft on time. Their safety, their security is all that we all look into. So it's a different place to work at, and compared to the other jobs that we see today, it's only a laptop. So today, nowadays, you see that we are working from home, but if you're at the airport, you cannot work from home. You have to be there. So during COVID also, I think I just was at home for a month, and after that I was at the airport, though it was minimum flights that we had, but we had to be at the airport to handle these passengers. Yes, there was a challenge that you were interacting with passengers during COVID time, but touch wood, I did not get COVID in the entire phase when COVID was there, because we took so much of precautions, and more than that, we made sure that the passengers who are traveling took precautions. So here I, at the airport, when I say, I also get the opportunity to help people. There are times where there are children traveling, when there are mothers with infant traveling, when there are senior citizens. Now the senior citizen travel has gone so high because all their children are based abroad. So they want to go and see their children. But I want to tell that when these senior citizen travel, they have no help. They are just left to their own. So here is the opportunity where I get to help them, to tell my team that yes, we need to make the best their journey and help them to get that on the flight. So this is what you exactly do at the airport, and it's a different as compared to the other jobs that you see.
So, can we typically say that, it is what I'll say, it is a very male dominant industry, and earlier when you must have joined the industry, the profile which you are handling is a very male dominant kind of a scenario. And then in that space, when a women intervenes, there will be some very, very typical challenges because we are in a country like that. And what were those kind of challenges, if at all you have faced them? And it might had, even the positive sides of it, and definitely some negative sides of it. But how did you strive through that phase?
Yes, as you rightly said, it's a male dominated profession. But I will say, in every field, you will say, from that time, the era, we had only few females working. Now, if you see, there are more females entering into the profession, and there is a pathway for made open to them. But yes, during my time, I did face. But I will tell all the girls who are watching this program today, we should have that hunger in your stomach to make sure that you want to achieve that goal. Be focused. Nothing should come your way. And that similar thing happened to me is when I was working, I did not let anybody interfere my job. I was very sure to what my job was. I made it sure that my job was perfect 100%. I did not give a chance to anybody to pinpoint fingers at me to say that I'm not doing the right job. So here, my seniors never felt that I am not capable as compared to a male person who was working with me. In fact, I made sure that I was always one step ahead in what the other person was doing. So there was no opportunity for anybody to say that I was not right for that particular allocation or that particular profile that I was working. And I would say that we always have to keep learning more than what we are allocated for that particular job that was given to me. In this bargain, I tried to gather all the information, all the knowledge which I had, and there were a lot of opportunities like this which came my way, thinking that yes, she is more better for a higher position and not that what she was doing then. So that is how I just went ahead and ahead. And I would just like to share that one example where we were having a meeting, and it was a senior role that I was holding then, and with all the vice presidents all around me, and there was I can say a case which we were discussing on, and I put front my view. And after some time, everybody's they got a call from the senior most person and said, has this case been closed, have you all discussed this? And my boss picked up the call and he said, look, so and so, that he said, we all are here, we all men, but this one woman has made us sure that she wins, and she has convinced all of us to make sure that the case is solved. And that is the time that I actually realized that I was the only female in that room with all the male around. So I think this gender discrimination should not come your way. You should be what you are. You should voice out what is your thoughts, and never think that what the other person would think, whether it's a right or wrong. If you think that it is a right, you should say a right. If it is a no, it should be a no. But never curb your feelings. Always be open to what you think, what it is. And I'm sure this will be the way of success to go forward.
So, ma'am, when the career progresses, I mean, as you move ahead in your career, there must be different goal setting which must be happening. So, the one way to look at it is that should I take something more challenging in this, or should I stay steady where I have now put up my so strongly? What is that trigger where you feel that that okay, now my next goal has to be more challenging, or how do you plan that?
So I will say that we all should have a chart made for the years that you have to grow. And that is how I progressed. I made sure that I wrote it down, where you say you have these positive affirmations, where you write it down and you say, in this year, you want to be there, you want to become this. And how do you work on this? I'm not saying that by just writing that you will be there, but you need to work on it. You need to gather all that knowledge, strive towards it. Like, for example, I said previously also that when you're working in a particular position, you have to work more than that. Like today, if I am a general manager, for suppose, and I want to be a vice president, you should be working like a vice president. So automatically, when that position is vacant, that position comes to you because people realize that she's already working as that position. So it's just not that you work your 8 hours or 10 hours and you come home back. You need to spend more hours, gather more information, as I said, sit with your colleagues and understand more, have that inquisitiveness to ask questions. How, I mean, at times, it is very embarrassing to ask questions where people feel. But I think from right from school, I was the one who would raise my hands and not feel embarrassed to ask, because I've not understood the question. Maybe the other 10 people also have not understood, but they feel embarrassed to ask that. But why do you feel embarrassed? If I do not know and the person is there to teach, we should put up our hands and ask, I do not know, kindly explain. So that is how that you need to keep on asking questions, have those goals. One thing I should tell you all, that your goal should be so strong that makes you wake up every day in the morning to go to work. That should be your passion towards your work, and that is how you will climb the ladder of success day and day.
So that was really beautiful, you know. I mean, when you keep on reading those books of motivation and all that, you always find, you know, the writer telling you that once you get up in the morning, just make a small note of, you know, what is your smallest goal even today. And
Yes.
that's how you progress in life. And that is what exactly you repeated, that in a corporate scenario, it is not only about aspiring for those promotions, but they have to be manifested in a certain way, so that, you know, there is a proper planning which goes into it. So then, whatever the gender is, it actually doesn't matter. So, ma'am, now when it comes to today's scenario, where, as you rightly said in the beginning, that today everybody is having that one small machine with them, by which they operate for their offices and wherever they are in the world. Okay, so they don't have to be physically present somewhere. But nevertheless, job profiles like the one which you are handling doesn't work that way at all. Now, for a today's female who has been grown up in this kind of a scenario, so like you rightly mentioned about COVID, so the kid who has gone through 2 years of online learning really feels that things are very easy and, you know, easily achievable, or I don't have to travel much and sit at one place and get things done. For such kids, okay, what would be your message? Because the way they look at job profiles like this, okay, will they be a little or if we have to make it a very positive scenario for them to take up such job profiles, what would be your piece of advice to such youngsters?
um, there was some slight connection disturbance, so I lost your few words in between, but what I gather is that looking at this job profile to what I handle, and how would what would be my advice to the youngsters when I handle this 24 by 7 routine, right? Yes, handling this airport function and the position that I hold now in is very challenging. I mean, there is no Saturday, Sunday, I would say, though at this position now, yes, I do get a Saturday, Sunday, but my Saturday at home goes in clearing all my emails, handling all the complaints or any phone calls or any emergency which is up there at the airport. And Sunday, it's not necessary that it goes like a holiday. At times there is crisis happening at the airport, like maybe if I say a crisis is a technical or a cancellation, or there is a passenger who is a medical case, or any of those kinds which come up, and then there is a call which comes to me saying what decision has to be taken. Or at times there is a necessity where there are bomb threats happening at the airport and I have to be there, and I'm summoned to be there, so I have to leave anything what I have. At times I have been in movie theaters, I'm watching a movie and I have to leave that theater and I have to go there. And this is where I will say that you need to have your priority in place. If you think today that you have chosen this profession, then I think this is your duty is first. As we say, and we see our jawans working for NDAs, where it is a war and they are summoned to be there, nothing comes their way. So this is how my job profession is also the same. I would say that when there is a need, I need to be there. And I will say your planning comes in place where you think, because you also have to have your family, giving time to your family. And yes, I would also give credit to my parents, my in-laws, my husband, my children, I think they have also adjusted well with me. They have supported me, cooperated with me. Where at times I have not been there. Maybe as I said in a theater that I was there with them and I had to leave, but they have understood. But at the same time, I've also balanced. So work life balance is also very important, where a woman, I think, has this quality of multitasking. I think we should make the most of it. We can do everything. So be it working at the airport, be managing my in-laws, managing husband, managing children, and also I also spend good time with my friends. So I prioritize them in such a manner that I give time to everybody wherever I can. So if you do that, I think we can manage everything. Also, I will say your passion. There are times where people are not. I keep telling this to my team members that if you have a passion, you should continue. If you're just going to work 24 by 7, it's not going to help. So remove some time of doing what you like I like running and doing marathons. So that for that you need to remove time, and I do remove by waking up at 5:30 in the morning. That is the only time that I think I have less calls and nobody disturbs me, and that is how I complete my running in the morning. So I will say yes, 24 by 7 is a tedious or challenging, but this is what I chose. And people who want to be at the airport, I think you need to be more focused, more proactive, be more planned. And I think you all can do that, and all can be where I am today. It's nothing difficult.
So yes, so I think so. The gist of what you said just now was it's all about time management at the end of the day. So as a woman, yes, I agree that because our roles are looked upon very differently than a man. Because I mean, we are in the society where we keep shouting about women empowerment. But at the end of the day, the other day, I would like to state this example over here that I was reading the interview of Mrs. Indira Nui, and she very funnily said this that the day she got the promotion and the day she was, I mean, announced at a global position, that was a big day for her, a Indian lady getting announced at such a big MNC's big position. She came back home
Right.
happy, okay, and her expectations at home obviously were a little different. But in the night after the dinner was over, her mom very gently tells her that, there is no milk in the house for tomorrow. So kindly go and get the milk. So, this is India.
Yes.
So what she was trying, yeah. So what she was trying to say over here was, I mean, she had a very good message, over here saying that whatever position you are outside the house, once you enter, the umberta, the dahlies of your home, you're the wife, you're the daughter, and you're the mother. And you are not a CEO, you're not a VP, you're nothing. So, if you too, as a person, are able to balance these roles very intelligently and strategically, then you find happiness at both the places, is what she was trying to tell. So similarly, what you said over here just now is a similar thing that, if you have to keep a job where you are with your family, you're having a good time with your family, then it's the commitment which comes into picture, and that's about prioritizing things. So, ma'am, now one last thing which I'm going to ask you is that parents, because we can groom the youngsters, we can, train them for new things. But yes, parents come from a different mindset, from a different setup, and they have been groomed in a certain way. Now, I mean, the parents who are in their 40s suddenly cannot have a mindset change, for their daughters, especially when the daughters say that, she wants to take up something which is very offbeat, very time consuming kind of a career. What would be your very I can say, I mean, you can always tell them about the negativities also, but at the same time, how should they take up all this kind of, arguments with their kids when it comes to this kind of career selections?
Yes, absolutely right. And I will say that, the parents should firstly believe in their children. If you start believing in your children, they will like it. And for the children, also, I will say that you should earn your parents' trust. I think if these both things go hand in hand, there would not be a challenge. And for parents, I will say a woman today has to be very independent. There is very so much of uncertainty in this world today, so it's no longer the same to where it was, the woman was just married and in the four walls and was taken care everything by the husband. But today woman wants to stand on par with the husband, and I think for that she should also be given the equal opportunity to do what she wants. And woman, I will say, it has also the talent to do what a man can do now. So give her that liberty, let her do what she wants, but at the same time, also make her understand to what the parents expect is also a right thing. Where today I have two children, a boy who's 22 years old and a daughter who's 17 years old. Yes, I treat them both equally. There is no discrimination between a boy and a girl. Rather, I have made the my boy loves to cook. So where, it was ritual earlier that it was only a woman who can cook, but now boys also have started learning cooking. So it is an equal hand for the woman who will come in his life, where she will get this little help from the boy. On the same lines, the girl who is in the house, not necessary that she has to be only in the kitchen. Give her that liberty to whatever she wants to do, and not necessary that every girl has to marry at the age of 21 or 24. Nowadays the age bar has extended, and girls would like to only marry or settle down maybe after an age of 26 or 28. Yes, the parents, what do they think is, माझी मुलगी लग्न हो झालं तिचं, मग ती घरी सेटल होईल, मला तिची मुलं होतील, and that's it is. But it is no longer the same. I mean, nowadays it has progressed so much further that the woman can settle down after an age of 28. She can get married, and I think medicine also has advanced where there are no issues in having children after that age. So the life can go on. Again, my advice to all the parents here: let the girls study as much as they want. I think they can really excel in what they want to do. There is no harm in making them study, and they can settle down later. But let that trust and let that respect be between both of them, and I think there will be a lot of harmony if this goes on.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Actually, yes, every parents have to open up when a girl child is, actually speaking about her aspirations, because today it is not only about going and selecting out of those two to three options, which used to be earlier a scenario where you have a science, you have a arts, and you have a commerce. Today it's like a platter, and
Yes.
then if she is given an option to pick up something from that platter which she wishes to, rather than whatever the traditions, the ritual, and whatever our culture says, then I think so, I mean, our country will get people like you. I mean, that dynamism comes even in the profession, even in the cultural shift, slowly. And all this has to be looked upon extremely positively. Like you said, you are also taking care of your passions. You are also taking care of your friend circle. And all this is somewhere which gives you obviously the mental peace also, which is required for such a challenging job which you are performing for last so many years, and you have been consistent in that. So I hope you like chatting with all of us. And if you really feel that you have any other tips, it's most welcome. Thank you so much for removing this time for us from your such a big, busy schedule. And we are really happy. Have a very, very happy Navratri and wishing the same to you and your family. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Mayura. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. It was very nice to be here and to share my experience with all my viewers. Anyone that has any question or want to speak to me, y'all are most welcome, and I will be able ready to help anybody who has any query. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Bye.
Bye bye. See you.